All right. So the reason we're here today, Gary,
Putting a lot of pressure on me.
the reason I have called us all here today is that I have been hearing a lot about Marketing Mafia. I saw your booth at the latest ICE show.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to talk to you about Marketing Mafia. Just can you, in a nutshell, explain to me, you own a service company,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
You have run it, you've bought other service companies, you've conglomerated some of them I think you've kept separate even.
Right.
But tell me probably a little bit about the history of how you got into Responsibid, but then how did that evolve into Marketing Mafia?
Sure. So, wow. First of all, thanks for, it's an honor to be with you. Kurt Kempton's one of the great guys, period. You don't even have to say great guys in the service industry, great guys. If I had a daughter and I was old enough to have a daughter that could marry Kurt is the guy that I would want my daughter to marry. So,
hey, I gotta get my wife in here real quick and make sure she hears this stuff. Honey, people do like me. No, go ahead.
And if you get the chance to hear Kurt speak, he's awesome. So Kurt, thanks for everything you do for the industry. So 2012, my brother and I, our father passed away in 2012, early 2012. And my brother was a firefighter, is still a firefighter. And anybody that knows anything about firefighters, they know they don't make enough money to eat. And if you see my brother, you know he eats a lot. And so do I. So he.
I don't want to side note too much, but I need you to know something. Firefighters are in the top 5 industries of millionaires. Crazy, weird fact. But if you took all the businesses of people who are millionaires and you broke it down, top 5 firefighters are in it.
Awesome.
Not because they make money. They save and they have other jobs. But anyway,
right.
Go ahead.
Exactly. And that's typical of that profession. So he needed to start a business to make money, to be able to support his family. I was working, I grew up, I should say, in the banking and mortgage industry. I was in a consulting business at the time. I worked for a consultant, national sales, traveled everywhere. And he was in my ear about starting a pressure washing business. I remember I was driving in West Texas. I get a call from Jason. Hey, we should start a pressure washing business. Like, that sounds horrible. I fought it. And finally he brought me over to the dark side and we started our company. And he was in, and he's sitting right across the room from me, so I can ask him to verify this, but he was in Huntsville, Alabama at one of Jeremy's shows, and you were promoting Responsibid. So we were one of the first users of Responsibid. We paid, the basic version was free, right, Jason?
Yeah.
Free. We were free. Now, that didn't include the follow-up, which to me is the gold of it, and we'll talk about that. But we started using Responsibid then. We didn't start to see the effects that it could have until we upgraded to the premium version. But we started using Responsibid back in 2013. And so we own a pressure washing business, a Christmas light business. Like Kurt has mentioned, we've bought and sold another business. And man, this business has taken me places that I never thought it would. When I was driving in West Texas and he's telling me about spraying water as a way to make money, I never imagined, number one, that we could have a 7-figure business doing that. And from that, it's grown into, and I don't even work in that business anymore. I work in our marketing company, which is Geiman Media Group, which started out of the Marketing Mafia. So in February of last year, I decided that there wasn't a good place, a good group in Facebook for service professionals to go to hear intelligent marketing techniques, I guess.
Wait, that can't be true. There's like 75 different forums on Facebook. You've got to be lying to us right now. How could you do this?
To back up, there's a lot of good information in groups. Absolutely. The problem is the groups get weighed down with a lot of egos and things like that. And so I get yelled at by people because I don't allow the egos. My ego is big enough. We don't need anybody else's, but I don't allow the egos and all that. And so there'll be people that'll message me, why'd you kick me out of the group and all that other stuff? Because we don't let a lot of garbage go through because we're focused on marketing. And so our goal is to help average Joe, service professional, window cleaner, pressure washer, carpet cleaner, come to the group and get ways to grow a business without spending money, because there are ways in there to do that. And in fact, I've spoken at two of Thad's recent conventions, ICE and Huge last year. And I tell everybody that comes to my class, look, this is the only class where I'm going to tell you exactly what to do today. You can go out tomorrow, not spend a dime, and you can have business from these efforts. And I really believe that service professionals are missing that marketing piece because they're usually starting a business out of a necessity to make money, not because they know how to own a business or they know how to run a business or they know how to market a business. They need to make money. Everybody's in the war. Everybody's in the war to win. But there's a lot of people that start businesses that they don't have a choice. Like, they have to be successful or they're not going to eat. When I say that, it's kind of joking because, like, I could be unsuccessful for a few weeks and still eat. But there's a lot of people that if they don't make money today, they're not going to eat today. And so we started the Marketing Mafia to be a resource for people to go to get information that is valid, accurate, and is proven, because it's mostly stuff that either I've done or Chris Martinez or the people that are in the group as moderators have done to make money. And that's what I've done. And I've tried to give back to the group, to the industry that has given me and my family so much. So with Marketing Mafia, one of the things that I find really interesting is that, and it's actually one of the things that drew me originally. Josh Latimer is a Responsibidder, and he and I became good friends through that as well. And both you and him, that magnetism is, this isn't theory. These aren't things that you just thought up in bed laying there thinking about it. It's not a book that you read. It's like, you've done it and you've been wrong before. So, you talk about ego. Whenever I go into a group and I see someone who's like telling everyone how they should be doing it and this is what works and all that other stuff, a lot of times I think to myself, this guy is acting like there's no other way to do it. And he's so knowledgeable and he knows only this way to do it that I almost can't take his words into as truth. Furthermore, I've been to these shows where people stand up there and they speak on stuff and they put out really flowery things, but it sounds good, but from maybe my past experience, they're making this sound like it works, and I know for sure that it doesn't. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And part of it is I spent time and money, just like you, in public education, and they teach theory. They teach the theory of marketing. I've learned, there's the 4 Ps or the 7 Ps, however many you want to make. There's probably 11 Ps by now of marketing. And they teach this theory. This is how you market. This is how you market. But, as Jason and I have come to learn, there are specific ways of how to make money. It's not just about marketing or branding or whatever buzzword you want to use. It's about attracting prospects to your business. And people get lost in theory and they get lost in what's cute or what sounds good. And, Josh teaches boots on the ground, and I teach kind of the which is kind of like level 101, and I'm kind of like level 102. Okay, take your boots on the ground and let's automate it. Let's make it something. I like Ron Popeil's set it and forget it, which is why I love Responsibid so much. It's automated because look, I'm lazy. I'm not going to do those efforts on a continuous basis that are going to make me successful. So we automate our processes so that stuff happens continuously and constantly so that we're making money off of those efforts.
So, okay. So that's one of the things that I really like is that we're talking about things that matter, things that are real, things that are, you can touch. Now the question is, when you are talking to people about setting it and forgetting it, I want to get into the next part of, obviously we're in Responsibid Live, Facebook Live. So what things are you using in Responsibid? I would imagine we're going to have to start talking about the follow-up builder because that's probably the biggest piece of automation.
Yep.
What are you doing with people in there that is helping them a lot?
Yeah. So obviously Responsibid sends emails to the customers in follow-up sequences based upon statuses that are already set up. And Kurt, you've probably been inside of our Responsibid enough that I got more than just a couple statuses. Once you told me I can create statuses, now we got statuses for statuses, right? Should have never told me that. So what we do inside of the follow-up though is we don't only use the follow-up to communicate with the customer. We use the follow-up to communicate with people inside of our company. So for instance, we put a bid in, put a quote in, and my wife or my son Tyler are the ones responsible for that. They'll put a quote in. 24 hours later, my wife gets an email that says, hey, we gave this customer a quote yesterday. Please call them to make sure they received the quote. So it automates everything up to her dialing the phone. If I could figure out how to make Responsibid via Zapier dial the phone for her, we would. Then 5 days later, Tyler gets an email that says, hey, 5 days ago, we gave this customer a bid and they still haven't responded. Send them a text and ask them what's up. So we've called them, plus we've sent them 2 emails in between then, besides the quote. And now we're sending them a text within a 5-day period because we want them to know that they're important to us. And
wait. Yeah, you want to know they're important to you. You are probably going to get here, but I need to stop real quick and let everyone know. Yep. I've seen the video that by default is at the header of every one of your proposals. And the video is of you. You're standing there in front of like this nice, cool background, all your logos and stuff. And then you say, thank you. I mean it. Thank you for getting a proposal from us. Look, if it wasn't for you, I don't eat.
Yeah.
I mean, you say those words.
Yeah.
And I don't know if, like, I think when I was small, I wanted everyone to think my company was big. And then when my company started to get big, I wanted everyone to think my company was small. Because people are like, oh, you're just some big company that's heartless. No, we're a small company. You always want to be something different than you're not. But I think that people forget how genuine sells. If people understand that you truly care, if they understand that their business matters to you, you're not being desperate, and your video doesn't come off desperate at all. So what you're saying is those 5 communications aren't, hey man, oh man, if I don't get a job from you, I'm probably gonna go out of business, or my wife really needs this because she's gonna go buy coats for the kids, and I really need, it doesn't come off that way at all. It's thank you. You know what? We understand, we're very clear on the fact that pleasing you is what makes it so that we can survive. And so we're focused 100% on that. So I think the messaging that you share with people, I know you help a lot of people get their follow-up set up. The messaging is rooted in that genuineness, right?
Exactly. I mean, probably the most well-known salesman of all time, Zig Ziglar, says, if you help, and this is the Gary Geiman paraphrase, I do that a lot. If you help enough people, you can have what you want. You can be successful. And we look at our businesses, regardless of what it is, we're trying to help someone get what they want. And when someone wants something, like if I get turned off real quickly when I try to buy something and it's really difficult to buy it, whether the process is horrible or their website, you can't maneuver easily, or they don't answer the phone. Like, I get turned off real quickly. And so what we try to do is we try to make it as easy as possible for a customer to do business with us. And in fact, my wife takes these calls and emails all the time, and they say, I just want you to know that doing business with your company was the easiest thing that I've done, or you've been the easiest service business to work with.
Why is that? Why is that? What are the walls that everyone else is putting up that we need to break down?
Yeah, so a couple of things that we do to make it really, really easy. First of all, with regards to Responsibid, we're staying in constant communication with them about that quote so that it's not getting pushed off to the side. Because obviously they had a need or a desire to get their house washed, their roof cleaned, their carpet cleaned, whatever service it is that that you're providing. So with Responsibid, it's consistent and constant to keep that quote in front of them, number one. Number two, we answer the phone to a fault. Now, when we were newer, I answered the phone literally 7 days a week, 15 hours a day, probably. Now we don't have to do that, but we still do about 6 days a week. We still are answering. The only day we don't really answer the phone is Sunday. But we answer the phone, number two. Number three, our payment process is once we're done, we send them out a link to pay via credit card. They go on, pay via credit card, boom, it's done and over. They never have to think, ask, or do anything of us for us to complete the service that they're doing. I tell this all the time. Look, they're our customer. We need to make it as simplistic. Once they give us their information, they shouldn't have to do anything for us to be able to complete the service and get paid.
So that's a total gem right there, is that we don't make our customers think, ask, or do anything. They don't have to think hard to do business with you. Mm-hmm. I'm remembering back to when I started my company and we decided we're a customer service company that just happens to do Windows. I remember we would have people say this to us all the time. Hey, you guys answered your phone. You guys showed up when you said you're going to show up. I called 4 other companies to come out and give a quote. Honestly, I'm embarrassed that I even waited to do business with you, because I've waited 2 days for someone to give me a quote. You guys are the only ones that even showed up. I don't know what the percentage is out there of how many people out there are like that, but Josh Latimer talks a lot about how people market. They treat their customers really, really well. Then they fall down in the trenches. They can't keep up with the work. So because they can't keep up with the work, they lose their customer service stuff. And then what happens? They run out of work, and now they got to go market again and pretend to be nice to customers again, but then they're going to get overwhelmed again. And so it's that system of saying, how can I make sure that my customers don't have to think hard to work with me? How do I make it so that when I set an appointment, I just know that they're going to get the reminder, I'm going to be there. I'm not running around in 16 different directions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it goes back to that innate thing that you were talking about earlier. When you first start out, you want to be bigger than you are. And then once you get to a place to where you're becoming big, then you think in your mind, you got to be smaller. I mean, I think you have to live in kind of those parallel universes to where you're big enough to be able to have the technology and to have the communication tools to take care of a customer any way possible, but you're small enough to be able to make that communication personal. Look, I'm lucky that our company is lucky that we have somebody like my wife that came on board last year who she spent 20 years in customer service. The worst
voice. Her voice is the sweetest Southern voice. It's like honey coming out of a mouth.
And so getting my voice off the phone and getting hers on it, and then getting I'm not the greatest customer service specialist that there is. And you said something about my wife, so now she's creeping around the corner to hear this. So if you want to talk to her,
hey, everybody should get a chance to hear her voice.
So she makes it look. For 20 plus years, she cut hair and she taught others how to cut hair. So she dealt with people that would come in and that looked, let's say not great, but they wanted to look like the picture on the magazine. And she would have to be like, oh, honey, let me show you what I can do for you. And then they'd still be smiling and happy when she was done, even though they didn't look like, Marilyn Monroe at the end, but she painted a picture for them to help them understand what she could do for them. So she does the same thing with our customers. Like, people want you to do things you don't do. And we learned very quickly, because Jason and I did things we never should have done, what we're good at and what we're not good at. So we'll have people call and say, hey, do you stain decks? No, we don't, but we can clean it for you. And then we can give you somebody to stain that deck. So we don't lose out on those opportunities. And the way that she communicates it and does it, it keeps that customer inside of our checking account. Let's be honest, where they belong. But that type of communication is what you need. And so we're very fortunate that we've gotten to the point that we are, so that multiple people can be in different roles. But just like Responsibid does its thing of building an engine for you to be able to run your business through, you kind of have to think about that on the communication side as well. So you got Responsibid communicating via email and providing pricing. And then what is your physical communication piece where you're communicating with your customers? And I know you have some vendors on the back end that can help with that, but it's really important to have those things in place. Because Chris Martinez always says, look, you can't be the expert at everything. You have to focus on what you're good at, and then do the things that you're good at and let others do the things that you're not good at. And that's really important, not just in using, Responsibid. It's important in running your business.
Yeah. Chris Martinez stopped by our booth the other, I don't know, maybe it was even a year ago. He stopped by the booth. It's always fun to talk to Chris because he's so awesome. In fact, he's here chatting away. But Chris said something I think that was really valuable. He said, when I look to buy something for my business, whether it's Responsibid or any other tool that I'm using, my question isn't how much does it cost, it's how much money will I net? How much will I make for it? So I'm not going to sit here and focus on how much this thing costs me. I need to find a professional who's good at it and will make me more money. So you talk about Responsibid's emails, text messaging, that kind of comes out of the box. You can send Jim in, you can be sending voicemail bombs, you could be dropping postcards to the customer themselves or to their neighbors, however you have it set up. All sorts of really cool communication stuff. And Chris is saying, okay, so it's 65 cents a card to send out 10 cards after every job. And I'm going to hit all three of those people, or I'm going to hit all those customers 5 times, let's say. So at the end of the day, it's going to cost me, $20. Let's just say it's going to cost $20 to hit all those people numerous times. So Chris isn't going, oh my gosh, $20. It's how much would it cost me to drive someone out to their house and put a door hanger on their door every single time, or to remember, or to, for the labor. And then how many jobs am I actually going to close that are going to make me $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 a piece because I'm spending this regularly. And that's what it comes down to, is the idea of not tripping over, dollars to pick up cents.
Mm-hmm. So Chris is saying is amateurs focus on the front end, professionals focus on the back end. And that's absolutely true. You have to look at the tools that you're using as an investment, not an expense. Just like marketing is an investment in your success and not an expense. And when you focus on it that way, and then you figure out how to make that investment work properly, then it can be successful. And so that's what we did in 2015 to go from the freebie Responsibid and had to pay for it, and to get that follow-up. Because just putting in place the standard follow-up that you guys have, man, we took our conversion ratio and doubled it almost immediately.
Amazing.
Why? Because I'm lazy and I wasn't following up with bids after we gave them a quote.
Or is it that you're lazy? Or is it that you had so many hats that you really were legitimately working, but you just didn't have all the hours in the day?
Right. Yeah. And it's not, and I didn't have a system to keep the things in place to be able to know, hey, I gave them a bid yesterday. I need to follow up to make sure they got it, number one. And then I need to just continually follow up. And I hear a lot of people ask this question, like, how much is too much to follow up? And my answer to that is you can never follow up too much. If they don't want you to follow up, and it's cute because you guys put this as a disclaimer, or it's the opt out or the unsubscribe. If our super helpful emails, are too much, or we're bothering you with our super helpful emails, you can always stop them. And it's funny because most people don't stop them; they just let them keep coming. And it's because of the messaging, though. If I was messaging people and I need you to schedule right now. I need this to happen right now. No, it's about you. Hey, you're our favorite customer. we really value you. And so we want to make sure that we have time on the schedule for you, and looking out for their interest with that messaging has really helped us to, 15 to 16 was a great year. And then 16 to 17 was the year that was crazy for us. And a lot of that is attributed back to Responsibid helping us manage the leads that we got in through our follow-up and our follow-up statuses. And you ask anybody in the mafia, Kurt, I preach utilizing Responsibid. What's a good CRM? Responsibid and Google Calendar. Well, what do you use? Well, until I got 4 trucks, I used Responsibid and Google Calendar. It just got really crazy with, different colors of people like, what job am I supposed to be at? And when we had 2 crews show up at the same job, I knew, okay, I got to get something else. But
let me Bobby Walker just asked a question I want to get to, but it's a little bit off of the rails of this, and I want to get to it in a minute, but I do need to ask you. I remember we were sitting at a conference. This would have been like 2 or 3 conferences ago of some sort. We're sitting there talking, and you had told me that you bought a certain person's business, and I was surprised because I had assumed that person's business was really massive and that they would have been pretty untouchable because of how big it was. In the conversation, I found out that business wasn't as big necessarily as that person had claimed it was, and they were real, I'm going to use air quotes here, tech guru. They had built their own Responsibid-ish thing. And so I want to ask you about, when you went into this customer list, you brought in like a real Responsibid. You didn't trip over the dollars to pick up cents, right? And you applied real follow-up, real technology into a company of a guy I've been after for years, saying, come on, man, you need a Responsibid. He's like, no, only an idiot would give you money to buy. And I always feel bad, like, man, am I overcharging you? Because I really am working hard. Anyway, my question is, tell us a little bit about that transformation of buying a business that was in one scenario and then really kind of just taking that same exact customer base and injecting some good follow-up into it.
Oh, I love the way you tell stories.
What?
It was just good. We had air quotes and everything. Yeah. So
listen, we're not devolving into knocking anyone down. I just want
no, I know. No, I'm just, my brother had to leave the room because he was laughing so hard. So that business actually was 10, 11, 12 years old. So there was about just customers that had used the service. It was like 3,000 or something like that. And so at first we were planning on importing them into Responsibid. And you said to me, hey, just let me know when you want to do that. And we can figure out a way to do it. But what I ended up doing was utilizing an outside email campaign and generate a business. And then we started putting them in as they got quotes back on them. Like something we kind of have toyed around with Responsibid, not just that, but taking property manager email addresses, which is what I think he was talking about. Yeah, it's
Bobby. Yeah,
property management companies. And so we tested it with Responsibid to where I would import 50 contacts at a time I set up a commercial prospect tab or status, I should call it, and import it 50 at a time, because you don't want to make, like, we use Google and Gmail servers with Responsibid. You don't want to overload your Google address because it could get shut down, and then you got to go through all that nasty stuff. But we tested out loading 50, and then I tried 25 and kind of see what would be the best approach. If you don't have someone on your team, or you're not technically savvy, I guess I could say, to set up like a Mailgun or a SendGrid to do email blast, it's a good way to, like, if you're in an area that's got, like, say 300 or 400 property managers and you want to continually communicate with them, you can set up statuses or set up follow-ups inside of like a commercial prospect status or a property management status, and write out your emails and put in, 10, 20 a day, import them in via common delimited file.
Yep.
And it'll drip out. It'll drip out those emails. I mean, there's an import button at the bottom. What is it? Connections. You go into connections, and there's an import at the bottom. Contacts. Okay.
Yep. Settings, contacts, import contacts.
Yeah. And you can drip out. You could easily add 25 a day and drip those out. I mean, I think Responsibid has so many uses beyond just giving out a quote that people don't see when they hear Responsibid, because I think, oh, it's an automatic quote. I don't want people to know my pricing. Okay, well, there's so many ways to use it. Like the way I use it is probably not the way you guys sell it. And I can tell you, I'd put our success up against any customer you have, that our success has been crazy, crazy good, comparatively speaking. Does that mean we're right and they're wrong? Absolutely not. It's just the way that ours works. But what we found is that follow-up sequence does so much for you in terms of how you're communicating to prospects, how you're communicating to customers, that it begins to generate business that's almost like free money. It's like the lottery calling you up and say, hey, we got a check for you. I mean, I'm looking at our numbers from last year. 18% of our business was from repeat business from Responsibid. That's not counting the referral business that we use follow-up sequences from Responsibid to get. That's just repeat business. That's just on a set it and forget it. And we didn't do anything to reach out to those people except with Responsibid.
So give us the number. Like, I mean, if you're okay with it, like when you bought this business, I remember sitting there at that table, my jaw on the ground, because you were like, yeah, I took this business from like, okay, there we go. From okay to like, what numbers in like a really short amount of time, just because of what you're talking about right now.
Yeah. So when Jason and I bought that business, we knew that there was a lot of untapped opportunities for a couple of reasons. One, limited follow-up. Two, there were services that could have easily been added. And three, packages weren't part of what they did. And so we knew, okay, while he had a pretty high average ticket, we knew we could hit that average ticket probably by 30%. And in fact, I think we raised the average ticket by 50%. And we bought it in August of last year, and in September, October, November, I was looking at the numbers the other day. We made September, October, November, and then part of December, and then even at the beginning of this year, a couple months, we've made back 3 times the amount that we spent already, which would have doubled a calendar year's income for what he had in 2017. So a lot of it was missed potential on his part, but the other part of it too was putting in place automation and packaging, which if you're not using packages, you got to start using packages. I mean, packages will take your average ticket and put it on steroids. I mean, our average ticket is probably 25% higher than it was last year already, just by tweaking some things here and there on packages. And from the time we started using packages, we increased our average ticket by $100 just by starting to use packages back in the day.
Would you feel comfortable sharing any of the packages that are rock stars for you? Or
yeah. So my favorite package is our house wash package, because we put so much effort into this. Like, it's hard. And I will say, this is bits and pieces. We've borrowed. I was going to say stole. We borrowed from other people their ideas. And that's what I do. Like, I hear somebody say something like, that's a good idea. Let's do that. Let's try it. And if it works, awesome. If it doesn't work, then we try something else. It's like Chris Martinez and Copycat Entrepreneur. Like, I copy others who are successful. And if it works, great. If it didn't work, we'll try something else. So our house wash package is simple. House wash is the basic package. You get your house wash. You get your house. We apply detergent and do a complete rinse, remove the dirt, mildew, and algae. Okay, that's our basic. Then our deluxe is our best moneymaker. We add anywhere from $30 to $70, depending upon the size of house. to turn the heat on. Yes.
Like the hot box? You're talking about the hot box?
Yeah. So we use heat on our deluxe. And so here's what I found about Responsibid and why I put that as part of the package there. Because I'll tell you what my premium is in a second. But I put that there because I found that the majority of people pick deluxe. It's our psyche, really. If you're given three things, you pick the thing in the middle the majority of the time. And that's the way the packages are. So like Jason and I, he was at a Christmas light convention and he met another power washer who said, yeah, we upsell heat as part of our packages. And I'm like, that's our deluxe. That is our deluxe. And so we did, and it's been crazy. Like 60% of the people pick the deluxe, and literally all our guys have to do is turn the switch on, and we do it when we apply soap, which it does have a benefit because heat allows the soap to activate more.
Isn't it like 2 to 3 times more potent?
Sure, we'll go with that. I don't know if that's scientific or not, so I don't know. But it is. I mean, if it's cold, soap isn't as effective as when it's hot. So absolutely. And then our premium is we aren't traditional window cleaners. We don't squeegee. We don't do any of that. We use water-fed pole. So our traditional is, or our premium is adding in exterior window cleaning, which means the customer's got to remove the screens. They got to do all the work. And we upsell that for anywhere from $100 to $150 up to like a 3,000 square foot house. And our average ticket in 2017 was just under $500 for a house wash. And the majority of that is deluxes. And I mean, it takes us about an hour and 15 minutes to wash a house. If you add in window cleaning, it's about an hour and 40 minutes. And because of packages, that's what has gotten our average ticket to that point. Because if I would have said, hey, do you want to buy a house wash with window cleaning and hot water, and that's the only thing that I had, I'm going to miss out on all the people that didn't want window cleaning and didn't want hot water. I'm going to miss out on that group. But if you give people choices, they can pick and choose what they want, and you maintain customers, but you also increase your average ticket.
So if you're selling 60 to 70 extra bucks for hot water, your average ticket price is somewhere around $500.
Uh-huh.
Does that mean you? What is your floor? I'm trying to figure out. Like you
What's
must
my
have
minimum?
Yeah, like you must have $1,000, $1,500 house washes at some points, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your minimum?
So we don't send a truck out for less than $200. But that's not going to be a house wash. Like our minimum house wash is $279.
Okay.
That's for a small 1,000 square foot house.
So you're still making it around the $99 house washers. There's people out there doing $99 house washes, and you're averaging 500.
Yeah, we got chucks and trucks and bucket bobs and all that stuff around here. I mean, it's Cincinnati. We don't have the competition that maybe a Florida or a Texas have. But, if I look for instance, if I look at Google AdWords and I look at who's bidding on ads, there's probably 30 companies bidding on ads at any one time in my market.
All right. So I love packages. There's no secret about that. I mean, I made a software for it, right? So, all right. Bobby, not Bucket Bob. And Christopher's right. Choices are key. This is what I'm getting ready to talk about. So I'm all about value. I don't believe when someone comes to me and says, we're not the cheapest in town, if they don't, they're not our customer, if they want to pay little. My thing is look, when I go to the store, I look to pay as little as possible to get the most value. So do I only buy Makita tools and do I steer clear of Black & Decker? Yeah, because there's a reason. I believe there's value in the durability and the different things like that. So let's say that I call you up, I ask for a quote, I get that quote, and I tell you this. Wow, $500, that's kind of a lot for a house wash. I've got another bid here for $99. What is it that makes your house wash $500? Help me understand how you help people see the value of going, but we're the Makita tool or we're the whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I won't lie to you. We probably don't even address that, to be honest with you, but I can tell you this. So the difference between us and chucking a truck or whoever it is, because we got a ton of them that are $99. And we, like, outside my church every Sunday, guess what I see? A freaking sign for house wash, $99 special. I'm like, And I go to a pretty big church, so there's 5,000, 6,000 people seeing that sign.
I bet it couldn't last on a really hot water spray. I bet it probably
Exactly. They're,
so hit that sign, melt that thing.
so we explain, hey, we're insured. Number one, completely insured. We are properly insured. And what we mean by that is the owner isn't insured and everybody else is 1099. So they're not covered. Because let me tell you something, there's probably people listening that do that. If you do that, stop doing it. Insure everybody. Pay workers' comp on your employees. We've seen that many times. And in fact, commercial jobs, I will argue that point and tell people, hey, look, go find out what their coverage is about. Number two, we have professional equipment. We show pictures of our equipment and trucks on our Facebook page and on our website. Look, we're not going to pull up in a pickup truck and pull a Home Depot pressure washer off the back, which, let me say, if you do that and you're starting out, go do it. That's what you have to do. I understand that. Look, we had a creeper man when we first started, and we had to be real careful when we were in neighborhoods that we weren't playing music too loud or might look like the ice cream truck. So wherever you're at in your business, that's fine, but be able to sell yourself as being professional. The best thing we could do always was say that we provide 100% satisfaction guarantee. And what we mean by that is this. What we mean is this exactly. If you call me today and you said, hey, someone was out here this morning and they cleaned my house and I have some brown streaks, is that normal? I'll be like, no, it's not. Totally sorry. I'll get somebody on it right away. And usually that day it's fixed, if not the next day. You're not going to get that from somebody who's charging $99 because he's chasing every single job and he doesn't have time to go back and fix mistakes. Look, everybody in the service industry is going to make mistakes. You're not perfect. It's how you address those mistakes and how you fix those mistakes. When I said I'm not great at customer service, what I meant was I'm not great at communicating customer service. What I am great at is providing customer service. And that means if we need to send somebody out right now, everybody in this company knows we fix mistakes right now. We fix them right now. We have somebody who sent us an email that said, hey, you cleaned our roof and our drainage pipes went out 100 feet from the house. And guess what happened 100 feet from the house? We got dead grass. Okay, so somebody's going to be out to put down seed or apply fertilizer to do something to fix that. And you have to be able to, in your messaging to people, to keep them from being able to even ask that question of what's the difference. I believe our messaging, our website, our communication lets them know why we're different than the $99 guy. We pick up the phone. We usually have quotes out before the $99 guy even calls them back. We've probably followed up 3 times before the $99 guy calls them back. We hear all the time, every single day, I haven't even gotten any other quotes yet. I'm still waiting on them to call me back. We're on our 3rd round of follow-ups by then. And we say,
imagine if they had a problem. I'm trying to give you my money and you won't call me back. I'm having a problem.
Exactly. And that's what we say. Imagine if you hire them, what's going to happen then? And so we present ourselves in a way to, honestly, Kurt, that question doesn't get asked. We don't hear that question. We will hear, you guys are high. Okay. We love you. Call us when you need us.
Yeah. See, I think that that's a missed opportunity, though. If people say you're high, or someone says, there's such an educational opportunity. Okay, well, Gary, I just got your quote. I'm not being a jerk. Like if I say over my dead body, I'm going to pay you $500. I got a if I slam the phone, there's no opportunity there. But if I say to you, Gary, I've got in my hand here a quote for $99, and your beginning price is $350.
Sure.
That's when I would feel like you've already given me all the reasons, but I think in a succinct way to say, but here's the difference, okay? The guy who's doing it for $99, he's probably a super nice guy, but the type of business we run, believe it or not, the prices you're looking at from our side are very competitive based on the level of service you're going to get from the office side, based on the warranty that you're going to get on the work we provide, and based on the equipment that's actually going to be cleaning and the people who are applying it, the knowledge, I promise you, by the time all that training and all that equipment shows up and we stand behind our work the way that we do, I promise you, you will not look back on this and think that you got anything other than a fantastic deal.
Yeah, I'm not in the I don't talk to customers on the front end, back end at any time, so I can't tell you what it's been the past 6 months. But I can tell you this: I mean, when they hear that, they deal with it. But my mentality, and I preach this to the rest of them, and this is because we have so much opportunity. Like, I'm not going to chase someone who's trying to negotiate price. We'll tell them why we are where we're at. Like, we are definitely the premier provider in our market. We own our market in terms of advertising and marketing. There's nobody that spends the amount of money that we do. There's also nobody that makes the amount of money that we do. So we own it there. We make sure that we present ourselves as a customer service organization, and that's what the majority of our reviews will say. They're quick to respond, quick to act, and so we have all of that proof out there. I just I'm not one, and I never have been one to try to chase after someone who is solely price conscious, because then we're going to make it a commodity, and I'll lose every time if it's commoditized. I lose every time. Because our service is more than just a commodity. It is peace of mind. And like I said before, we are the easiest service company. There's probably only one other service company in our market, and that's a glass company who I'm really good friends with, who he is a customer service freak to a fault. They're probably the only service company that beats us in service. We win hands down the majority of the time, and that's where we shine through. But honestly, if I went and asked Jennifer right now, say, hey, how many people have tried to either negotiate or tell you they had other quotes that's why they weren't using us? We don't hear it that often. We really don't. That's not something that we hear.
Well, I think that there's a value option for packages. I think it's important that everyone who's watching this right now, and just for the sake of your experience and mine, that when someone brings up a price, it's an opportunity to tell them why you're unique and why you can't get what you offer somewhere else.
Absolutely.
And so if you're conveying that in your packages directly, you'll probably get that question less, which is probably a pretty good reason why you haven't gotten the question much. But that's where I tried to live, is in that place where it was like, awesome, they got a cheaper price somewhere. This is my chance to find out if they're my customer or not. Because in their mind, you are a commodity. Like, you're gonna wash my house. I need someone to wash my house. I could wash my house for $99, or it's like when I go to a restaurant and they say, would you like to get this size of a drink, this size of a drink, or this size of a drink? So I can have all I can drink for $2, $1, or $50. I don't even know, because I don't go to those places around. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's all you can drink. And they're like, yeah. So to me, it's a commodity. Why wouldn't I just get the smallest one and just fill it up more times? I don't get it. And I think a customer at that point, they're the same thing. I'm not a professional house washing company. I don't know. But if you say to them, this is what makes us completely unshoppable. And if you put that in your packages, you take that huge opportunity to help that customer who may have made a bad decision, and you just saved them by charging them $300 extra. You just saved them getting a tree that they've been growing for the last 10 years or whatever killed or ruined. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of value in the packaging. I could talk about this all day, man. I love this subject. So maybe we should move on. Gary, what other things? I know you said there was 3 things you wanted to cover. We talked about follow-up and packages. What was the other thing that you work with people on with Marketing Mafia?
What was the other thing we talked about? Let's see. Follow-up, packages. Did you write this stuff down?
No. No, but let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll think of it. So last night, we were talking about packages, but I'm going to talk about the technology, responsible technology for a second. Last night, I got a chat from a customer who said that the new packages, the new proposal is bad, really bad. It's not working for him. It doesn't help that on his website, 50% of the space is taken by a sidebar, and then the other 50% is, the packages. So as a result, in his particular situation, when the button that's telling you packages are off to the right is flashing, it's already cutting off all the packages and only showing one. In his way, it looks like it's pointing to the sidebar. So that's something we need to solve. But what have you found conversion-wise or technology-wise from the new proposal change? Have you noticed any changes in your own business?
So Tyler, who does a lot of our scheduling, we were talking about this last night, and he said that our conversions are up about 5% in the last 10 days.
That's good. That's a good sign. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of our conversions happen through the follow-up, not through us calling or talk. I mean, we get a lot of, you got a Responsibid pending. We get a lot of those emails. Not enough. I mean, I like to have a lot more, but we get a lot of those emails. So I think that's a piece of it. The biggest thing that we've done is, because we used to use multiple programs, one for commercial, one for residential. And because I can do a PDF, I will, we use Responsibid for both commercial and residential now. So I can take the PDF, print it off, and then Responsibid just follows through with my follow-up. And we have statuses that are being set up for specific commercial follow-up versus
because you're almost out of statuses.
I am actually. So it's helped in those ways. The PDF option is really good because you'll get people that will tell us that it went to spam or it went to trash or whatever, and then we can just take a PDF and I can attach it to a text. I can attach it to a messenger and send them that PDF so they have it, and it's helped us being able to deliver the quote as well, just as much or more, I guess, as before. And the fact that you had videos before where we could talk to them about how to fill the form out and all that good stuff. But that initial opening video that is available for you, I think that's such an opportunity to take advantage of. And, I used it as a way to sell people on our family, which is our company. And that's such a big statement for us. Like, you're going to probably be dealing with somebody who I'm related to. And so we all have that same mission. And we want to make sure that that's conveyed to our customer of how important it is that the mission of taking care of them isn't just me, it's everybody that they talk to.
So are you talking about the video that's there by default, or are you talking about the new ability to inject specific for customers?
Well, there's both, actually. There's both. I definitely like the ability to inject video to specific customers. And I think that's a great use for commercial, for commercial usage, because you could talk directly to things that are going on in that quote that maybe you can't write. It's easier to talk about. Mm-hmm. But that default video at the beginning of the quote is a salesman's opportunity. It's the chance you have to deliver what your mission is for that customer.
Yeah. And people always talk about, aren't you scared that Responsibid is going to commoditize your business? Well, I'm like, with packages, obviously not. But now with the video and the customized video, and I'm going to go ahead and drop, I never like to do this, but it's close enough that I can. And the new ability to inject documents that are specific to a customer, whether it be pictures or other documents in that additional notes area where you've got your default stuff, to also have additional things specifically for that customer. It takes you from a whole new level of like, yes, our packages are unique selling propositions, but now we can talk to you directly while you're looking at it. And even if you weren't there when we gave the quote, or even if your spouse wasn't there when we gave the quote, you will get personally addressed by me or whoever it was that did the quote on site or did the video. And now you know that the quote you're looking at is without a shadow of a doubt specifically for them. You're talking directly to them.
Right. Absolutely. So you have a question from Bobby Walker. And since I said Bucket Bob, I kind of feel like I need to atone for saying that because I wasn't talking about him, obviously.
No, but you know what? Have you've seen Bobby? I'm not a big man. I'm sort of tall, kind of gangly, super weak. When I'm around Bobby, I feel like there's no way that I would ever want to say something that offends him that might possibly get me in a dark alley later on.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give you this opportunity to address.
To atone?
Yeah, tone.
I mean, my brother's pretty big, but so he talks about any other package tips for other services. I mean, do you care if I share what our packages are?
No, go for it. I'd love that.
And see, there's a lot of people. Oh, that's super private. Kind of, but it's not. So roof cleaning. Talk about roof cleaning. So we do roof cleaning. Our basic is roof cleaning. In our market, that really long word that starts with a G, and then that ends with magma. That is algae. That reoccurs about every 5 to 7 years. So we give a 3-year warranty. So our basic roof clean is a roof cleaning with a 3-year warranty. Now, that's if you clean the whole roof, half the roof. I don't care. I mean, I'm not going to get into that. But so that's our basic package, our basic roof cleaning package. Then our deluxe is a house wash. And when someone wants a roof cleaning, to us, that's more of a premium type service. So it's more of an entire, you're trying to clean the entire property. And so we're trying to get, we're trying to get that entire cleaning completed. So we go basic is the roof clean, the deluxe is the house wash, and then the premium is the exterior window cleaning. And if you were going to carry that out, because there's 2 more package options, we don't use them because my brain would explode if I had. I mean, I could do so many things, and I would have so many people in this company yelling at me, "What's this for? Oh my gosh!" So I try to keep it as simple as possible. But you could go out and add to that. So the next one up, I think, is the ultimate. You could make that like cleaning the driveway. And then, you could make the next one up, cleaning all their concrete, just look at it from the customer's perspective. Like, what's the next step that they can take? And then you can build out packages. I can tell you that our most profitable packages are gutter cleaning. And we got really aggressive with gutter cleaning. And if anybody that does a gutter cleaning, you should do this. Basic is a complete gutter cleaning. And, I learned from someone else in the industry that you basically call your gutter cleaning an inspection. It's an inspection, not a cleaning. Why is it an inspection? Because you're going to get the same. You're going to get paid the same if you remove 8 bags of leaves or a half a bag of leaves, right? It's an inspection. So we call it our 5-point inspection. And our 5-point inspection includes things like cleaning the gutters, flushing the gutters, taking pictures before and after, identifying any damage in the downspouts or the gutters or the fascia, blah, 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 blah. That's our basic gutter cleaning. Because we present it like that, we charge a lot of money for it. And my brother and I, we were just going over average gutter cleaning prices last night. Like, our average gutter cleaning price is $250. And people, we live in Cincinnati, where the average per capita income is $32,000. We don't live in highfalutin areas. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That says a lot about your house washing price too, then.
I mean, that's called strong, is what that's called.
Yeah,
I mean, but we provide that value. So you're asking, like, what's the value? Well, the value is we got a 5-point inspection for that basic gutter cleaning. And then the deluxe is exterior window cleaning. Because think about it, gutters are going to be cleaned in spring or fall. What else can be done in spring or fall? Window cleaning, exterior window cleaning. And then the premium is the house wash. Now, if you went into my packages and you looked at what the cost of a house wash, if you bought the house wash premium, which is window cleaning, right? That is window cleaning, and you added gutter cleaning to it, that price would be less than what the gutter cleaning premium package is, which is a house wash, window clean, and a gutter clean. See what I did there?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so when it's gutter cleaning season, they're going to that gutter cleaning package, and we're getting people to buy the house wash and the window cleaning. It's about $100 more than if they got the house wash premium and the gutter cleaning. Oh, you're ripping people off. No, I'm not. I'm focusing on a package, and I'm providing value to them that they see, and then they're buying based upon what that value is. That, to me, is the beauty of the package. Like, I could buy a la carte off the McDonald's menu, but man, if I want everything together and I want the big portions, I'm going to not go to the dollar menu. Do they even have the dollar menu anymore? I don't know.
I don't know. Probably
not. Thankfully, I haven't been in a while, but you have to take the mindset of presenting packages that are at that time of season. And so gutter cleaning is something that's important spring and fall. We don't get a lot of calls for gutter cleaning in the middle of summer. So that's when house wash packages are pushed, obviously, instead of those other ancillary services. So those are really the only 3 packages we have, because we got rid of, we used to seal concrete and add all kinds of packages, and that just got too crazy with what you had to keep. So we just clean concrete and that's it. So those are the 3 packages that we do: house wash, roof cleaning, and gutter cleaning. Hopefully you take those, put them together, and go make a lot of money with those packages.
Cool. Well, that's good to hear. First of all, I love the way you're putting your packages together. I think that's awesome. I can't even tell you how much time has gone into this new proposal trying to get it right. I still think there are some pretty sweet refinements on their way, but I'm glad to hear your close rate's gone up even more. Your conversion rate's gone up. I hope your package pricing goes up. The customizations that are coming right now are 100% focused on allowing the defaults to flow and make a good proposal out of the gates, but the customization options to move way up. We're really focused on now the ability to make your customer's proposal feel like it's something that you went back to the office and spent hours putting together. And I hope that obviously the digital version, you're going to get video and you're going to be able to schedule yourself if you're using crew count, things like that. But the PDF version is also important, as you've already mentioned, and we want to get that right as well. So we're listening. We're listening to feedback, and there'll be changes, but we're excited.
Kurt, I think what you guys have done with it here recently with Responsibid has been a total, almost like a metamorphosis of the software, like where it was and where it's going, the ability to do the things that we do. I just hope that you take my advice, like I told you in Vegas, and make a CRM. But that's just me. I'm just making a shameful plug, and
that'll never happen. Never happen. No, I shouldn't never say never, but I'll tell you this. We really love our partnerships with CRMs, and
I didn't mean to step on those toes. I was just that. I think I tell you that every time I see you. So
I know, but I'll tell you, living in the box of just focusing on making the best proposal software we possibly can, and allowing other people to focus on the other things outside of it has been really liberating for us. That all said, when we're going to disappear in about a month, we are not going to push a single new feature. We've got a bunch of cool little things that are coming out right now with the proposal. We're touching it up and stuff, but we're going to disappear for probably about 6 to 8 months. And when we come back with what we're building, without divulging too much, this next project, if you go to the ideal wall, you'll get an idea of what we're talking about anyway. But a lot of customers need depth of customer profile. But the problem is that the customer profile touches the follow-up builder. It touches the smartphone light box, some other technology we're building for gathering quotes. It touches the dashboard. It touches every single thing. And so we're going to take this opportunity to make some huge architectural changes. And I think that as it starts to roll out, when it comes out, it's going to touch a lot of things in the software. And you'll see, well, hopefully you'll see that by us staying outside the CRM area, you're going to go, okay, I see what you did there, and it'll be awesome.
Cool. I can't wait. I can't either, actually. I think our partnership, utilizing Responsibid, and one of the great things about dealing with your company is the chat icon, and I'm probably going to make your life crazy horrible now because I'm going to tell people this, but anytime a chat is put in there, and it was funny, I waited. How long did I wait before I told you that you were probably talking to Sebastian and you thought it was me the whole time? Because Sebastian logs in underneath mine to get access to the admin capabilities. And, Sebastian, hey, can we clone this? Can we clone this? And I mean, and we will ask probably some of the dumbest questions because we're not software people. We clean stuff.
That's fine.
And I mean, we get immediate answers as long as it's not, middle of the night or whatever like that. And we try not to do that. But I mean, we get immediate answers. And in terms of other providers that we have, I think that piece of it is probably one of the best things that the software provides. Hey, Kurt, how do I do this? Well, what you do is you go do this. Or Dave comes back with, man, I did a video just for you. Here's the video. Like, you did a video? Seriously? Sure enough, it's like, Gary, go and click on this. Gary. And so, wow, you really did record that video just for me. So that piece of it makes Responsibid and getting through some of the harder things to understand, because we get a lot of people that'll sign up underneath of our referral code, and they'll come to me and be like, I don't know how to use it. Well, you see that little circle down on the bottom that's got the little chat box? Click on that, ask the question. They'll come back to me. Oh my God, they answered every question that I have. Absolutely. And that to me is probably the biggest piece that you bring in terms of being able to help your customers understand the software, but also providing feedback. I always tell my wife that the biggest thing I hate about online companies is they make it so easy to take your money, but they make it so hard to figure stuff out or answer questions or to give your money back. And that, I believe, is one of your greatest strengths, is the immediate and constant communication that you give me, Sebastian, whoever it is that from our company that talks to you, and it makes the software a lot more comfortable to use.
Good. It makes it all worth it. Because I'll tell you, there's days I get done and I'm like, honey, I typed a Harry Potter novel today. And she's like, what are you talking? I literally typed 10,000 responses in chat, just because, and it's exhausting. Like, I'll be really tired at the end of the day. But when I hear things like what you just said, that means it's working. We want our customers to know that we're your partners in success. We're happy to help you. We want to serve. And if you succeed, we succeed. You pay us every month. You're our boss. We want to work for you. And so, we never want someone to feel like weird or dumb about chatting in. We're here for you guys. So,
well, since I'm your boss, I want to raise. So make sure you. I also want a shirt. So I need the one that says "Dominate." Since you stole my slogan, I want the "Dominate" shirt sent to me. It does need to be extra.
Can we take this offline? All right, boss. All right.
But no, Jason and I, we can't be more. Out of all the vendors that we deal with, there's two that we hold in high esteem, and you guys are one of them. And there would never be a thought. I've had people come to me and say, you can use this instead of Responsibid. That's cute. That'll never happen. That would be kind of like coming and saying, hey, can we have your firstborn child? No. So we value that relationship that we have with you guys. And when we finally decided to start paying you, we started making money for 4 years ago now. So,
hey, and if you stay with us long enough, maybe you'll put my kids through college. So I really appreciate that.
We'll try. The more shirts I get, I didn't wear your. I have the shirt that you have. You gave it to me in Vegas, but the more shirts I have, the more I'll keep paying. So.
Oh, okay. Hang on, I gotta take a quick note on that one. Well, Gary, it's been a pleasure talking to you, man. It's always fun to see you. You're a smart dude. So makes me feel good to know that you're Responsibid with me.
Well, I appreciate the compliment. I don't know how smart I am. My wife's over here going this. She's doing this right now. So she won't be able to get me home. But thanks, man. We appreciate everything you do. Like I said, you do a lot for the industry, and we appreciate it. I guess I'll see you next at the huge convention where you'll make everybody cry.
Make everyone cry?
Yeah, the stories that you get to tell us. Usually, your keynotes usually take everybody through the gamut. You laugh, You feel a little sad sometimes. You feel sad because the guy had to have his mom set him up on dates.
Oh yeah.
And then
dude, you remember that? You remember how I met my wife? Oh man.
Yeah. And then you make us cry. So it's all good. But can't wait to see you again. And
are you coming to the Service Software Summit?
We will be there. I don't know if I'm coming to that specifically,
Okay.
but we'll be in Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah, I'm super pumped for that. It's gonna be really fun. Well, good stuff, man.
Yep.
We'll say goodbye to Facebook. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. We'll catch up with you next week.
Bye-bye.